has really changed my life. I'm not stuck at home in pain in bed. I'm out here with my friends and enjoying my family.
Big thank you to Lifeway for helping me, helping my family, and helping the 100 people now in our team who are using Lifeway daily and their families. Big thank you. Love the products.
And I have energy through the roof.
I sleep better. I have so much more energy.
Throughout the day, I can focus better. I can concentrate in my work.
Our church worship service lasts 45 minutes. For the last 2 years, I've not been able to stand that long. 2.5 weeks into wearing the X39 patch, the pastor said, "You can now be seated." It dawned on me at that moment that, my goodness, I've been standing this whole time, didn't realize it.
After starting using the technology for approximately 2 weeks, my pain completely disappeared.
32 years of pain gone in 3 days.
I just love the products. They just help me to feel younger and younger year after year.
Thank God for X39.
My skin become younger, softer, firmer.
It's been really amazing.
I love X39 because it really helped reduce the inflammation in my knee. I can now run again. Woohoo!
Hey, well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Monday evening community call. Gregory Mascari and Robin here tonight and welcoming you. It's February 5th, and last night at midnight, we closed out the Cancun incentive, and how exciting it is to see a long list of people. And of course, Mr. Michael Jaco, top of the list again. He's certainly got a following and a tribe. And his tribe's becoming the LifeWave tribe. So congratulations, Michael and Brad Wozni and many others who are in the top runnings. And for all of you that, may have qualified for one or two, we don't have the final numbers yet. It'll probably take a week or so for the dust to settle. The last accounting we had was as of January 28th, and a lot's happened since then over this last week. So I know the company's going to be updating the schedule for everybody. But most of you know where you are and you know what you needed to do to get where you wanted to be. And we've got a couple of our special friends with us tonight that knew where they wanted to be, and they just went the extra mile. These last 48, 72 hours over this last week, they just pushed the envelope and moved across the finish line to earn double slots, 2 points, 2 trips. So we're really excited to have with us Darlene Clayholtz and Eva Rose. Darlene from Colorado in the US here, and Eva from Canada. And we're just going to invite them, if you ladies would like to flip on your camera and show your beautiful faces. There we are. Hi, Eva. I thought you were going to introduce the other guests. Well,
there we go.
Hi.
Hi.
Robin's going to say hello and introduce. She's not on camera, but she's on audio here.
We got a little mix up in our communication here.
How about that?
Yeah. Well, first of all, congratulations to you two, and congratulations to everyone. This is a big deal. And I just want to say that both Eva and Darlene had been on LifeWave trips before. And, my quote is, once you go on a LifeWave trip, you don't want to miss another one. And they wanted 2 tickets. So these two both went over the 75 mark and got tickets. So we're so proud of you. And I've been busy counting numbers with several people lately. And we'd love to hear from each of you just for a few minutes of, what your process was to get those 2 tickets to go on this trip, because it's a really exciting thing to go to Cancun and be treated like royalty with a first-class trip. So let's see, Eva, you want to go first, then we'll have Darlene?
Sure. Hi, everybody. So as Robin said, I have only been on one trip so far. And once you go on a LifeWave trip, there isn't anything like it. And she said those words, and Gregory and others, but I'm like, I didn't know until I actually went. And now I really want to go on all the trips I can possibly attend. So with that being said, when I looked what was needed and required, I just made the decision that that was going to be my priority. So when I make a priority, that means other things that would keep me busy, they're not my priority. So, and I also wanted to make it fun and easy. I didn't want to make it stressful or put pressure on myself, because that takes the fun out of things. And the other thing that I want to say is how bad do you want it? So I had to put it to the point to how bad do you want it, is that, okay, so what if my kids were, I'm going to do an extreme, just so you know, what if my kids were taken away from me, and so they wanted to say for ransom, just for example. So there wouldn't be anything that I would focus on except getting my kids back or doing whatever I would need. I'm just saying those type of extreme of how dedicated that you make your priority. So if I could put it into an extreme, that makes me push myself that much more focused, but also at the same time to have fun. So, and to set the intention of make it easy. So I guess the other thing is that how it just became easy is that I detached from the outcome of whoever I shared this with. I really had no intention of just letting it unfold naturally. For whoever needs this product will find me. And then that's what made it so easy, because I just allowed it to happen. And no expectations of whoever decided. And that's just really what made it so easy. So if anyone want to ask me another question or other things that I maybe did that I'm not thinking of.
No, I've been talking, but I've been on mute. Sorry about that. No. The team that plays together stays together, and I got to meet you on one of those trips, and there's nothing like it when you're hanging out in the water with your teammates and being inspired. We had a team training in the pool with our famous mojito training in Tulum. We wanted, but what you said a few really important things, Eva, and the first one was you made a decision, and that's where it all begins. And then you said you wanted it to be fun and easy. So you set the tone and the intention for what you wanted, and you learned what the rules were. You got a lot more points getting a customer than getting a silver. Yeah. And even getting a gold, you got more points getting a customer. And I know people double dipped by getting a customer first, and then later on they upgraded to brand partner. So you got 5 points out of them instead of 3. And you also wanted it really badly, and you focused. So you've been working with intention and not attached to the outcome, because I know who you are, and you're a woman of service and are only doing things that are going to make a difference for other people first. So I want to congratulate you, and we're thrilled that you made it, and I'm so happy you get to go to Cancun with Darlene.
Thank you.
Yay. Okay, Miss Darlene, you want to unmute your line, and Darlene and I've been working really closely on this one, and there were ups and downs and frustrations, and Darlene had a little challenge earlier in the year. So Darlene, why don't you share a little bit about what it took for you to get those 75 plus points?
Okay. I love earning trips and gifts, and this will be my 3rd trip from LifeWave. So it was important. I really wanted to do this, but I was a bit worried about this trip to Cancun because the qualifications required all new brand partners or preferred customers. And I just had open heart surgery, and I'd only been out of the hospital about 30 days when this trip was announced. And I couldn't do what I normally did to get new prospects. So it was time to pull out my lead sheets and call my customers that had canceled and get in touch with my current customers and say, who do you know that would really benefit from using our patches? And I was able to do a couple of booths at events, and I wear my Let's Be Healthy Together name tag wherever I go. And if I saw someone who I thought would really benefit from wearing X39 and our patches, I had to step out of my comfort zone and tell them about it. And I actually got 9 of my new preferred customers by doing that.
Wow.
So then I got sick the end of December and half of January, and I almost gave up. I only had 30 points. And I thought, I need 50 points, 17 PCs, but I decided to go for just that one ticket. And then on Monday, January 29th, I actually had my 17 customers. And I thought, yay, I got it. I can relax. It's done. And then Monday afternoon, I got 2 more customers. And I thought, what the heck? Let's go for that second ticket. What have I got to lose? Nothing. And about a year ago, my daughter said, I would love for us to be able to go on a mother-daughter trip. So I thought, I'm going to go all out. I'm going to earn that ticket for her. What have I got to lose? It's not impossible. I only need 8 or 9 more preferred customers in just 7 days. So I worked really hard and I did it.
Yay. Oh, Darlene. So I hope everyone is listening. Here's a woman who recently had open heart surgery. And then she was sick and she realized she had to do it differently. She had to shift the way she was, because she was out in the community all the time. She wasn't able to do that. She had to do it differently. So again, she made a decision and set her intention and knew that, and she wasn't going to give up, and so it's so exciting, and I hope you guys have inspired. I hope everyone in the audience is inspired by these 2 amazing ladies, because they performed, they did it. There's not that many people that earn 2 tickets. And these are 2, our podcasters, God bless them, Brad and Michael, we love them. We're thrilled they're going. You guys are so lucky you get to be with those guys. It's not going to work for us to be there, but you guys, and the other thing that inspired you is your daughter. It's kind of like what Eva was saying. If something happened to her children, there's nothing else she wouldn't do. She would do whatever it took. And when you're dealing with, how to be of support to your family, and having a mother-daughter trip, that's a whole nother inspiration. And I know, Darlene and her husband go to Cripple Creek, and it's a casino in Colorado, and her husband always wins, always, always. And Darlene always wins too and comes home with customers. And she needed some more customers, so Larry took her to Cripple Creek, and guess what? She got more customers, whatever it takes. And she was willing to do it. So I just want to congratulate both of you for doing such an amazing job and being an inspiration for our whole community. And you're going to have a fabulous time in Cancun, I know. All right. We expect a lot of pictures.
Congratulations, ladies. Thank you so very much. Okay, so we're going to shift gears a little bit. I'm going to share my screen again, go back to our newsletter. I hope you're all getting the newsletter. And the next thing we wanted to do is we're back on track with our book club. And this week, we're going to be talking about law number 3 of the Atomic Habits, Make It Easy, with directors Ravel Guzman and Dr. Tom Acklin. And Robin, did you want to make any comments here? Okay. I don't either. So lady and gentlemen, turn on your cameras. There you are. There's Dr. Tom and Ravel, and there you are. And I'm just going to bow out and turn the screen and everything over to you.
Well, woohoo, Darlene and Eva Rose. Outstanding.
Inspiring.
Easy indeed. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. One of the things I learned, I'll just jump right in. I can't wait to hear Ravel's voice. But in 90 seconds, I wanted everybody to know that on the Live Younger Success What's New tab, you'll find a review of the book club here. And that's what we're going to do tonight. Atomic Habits. This is James Clear, and this is what we're up to, so we can all get on those trips. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement, right? Personal growth development program with a compensation plan, yeah? So it's the 3 key lessons here. This is an 8-minute video. And this is another context I wanted to just presence quickly. Your identity emerges out of your habits. This is the personal growth. Every action is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. Decide the type of person you want to be and get it, whatever it takes, right? So we did the first law was make it obvious. The second law was make it attractive. This is what we're going to focus on tonight. The third law, make it easy. And these are the phrases that we can bask in as we're understanding this. Automate your habits, master the decisive moment, prime the environment, reduce friction, and Ravel is going to talk about the 2-minute rule to kick us off, I think. We've had some fun conversations here.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And, you know, when you're talking about habits and speaking about inspiration, I think that the habits, and you really got the sense of focus that both Darlene and Eva were engaged in. It's just so inspiring to hear them both. The 2-minute habit, if you wanted me to mention that first, you can talk about that in the context of the daily method of operation, of course. I know I sound like a broken record about that, but I'm very fixated on that, talking to 3 a day. But also in the context of personal habits, you know, you mentioned reading, Dr. Tom, which I loved. And also, like, say someone was engaging in Tabatas, which, you know, doesn't take 45 minutes to drive to the gym and come back. You can do that in 4 minutes. But say a person was just starting out. Well, if there's resistance to it, then maybe stop it at 2 minutes, you know, and just getting that heartbeat going. And even if I was talking to a physically challenged individual 2 years ago, and I said, what about just being on your trampoline and just moving up and down, or walking up 1 step and walking 1 step down? It's just that physical activity of moving. And Dr. Tom, you know, I just wanted to mention that you know, people get to know you on Tuesday nights and now Sunday nights, and I guess you've called yourself an immune neuroscientist. You're a neurologist, a medical doctor who hasn't written a prescription in 20 years as a choice. And you engaged in habits that eventually created a new life over your lifetime and a new identity. And I'm just curious what habits you incorporated to accomplish such change in your life.
Well, Robin said the team that plays together stays together, right? And it's a community, and that famous phrase, you're in business by yourself, but not for yourself, but not by yourself. And using team. In fact, I wanted to open with the screen share just because I've used that as a habit recently. And I've found that it really is of great service, and it points out the tools. And if we're talking, we're pointing to a tool. Yeah. We talk about the business model of 3 a day and 10 in play. And you can think of all of the different areas of your life as 3 a day and 10 in play. And I wanted to use the example of novel foods, because one of my shifts, Ravel, has been to teach people how to eat their real food. All right. So we talk about microbiome reconstruction. Prebiotic fiber is important. So what if you had a goal to increase the number of fermented foods and the number of novel prebiotic fibers? Because if you eat a wide variety of fibers, you have a wide variety of bugs. And so 3 a day and 10 in play means every time you go to the store, and go to a good store, or go to your farmers, buy 3 novel foods, right? And then all of a sudden, if you have 3 a day, then you've got 10 in play of those things. You can think of anything in your life as that. And if we have a wide variety, then we have a wide variety of options. And then that flexibility, what James Clear points to is these things become inevitable, right? You've got a big menu of choices. And that's one of the things I think that's important about working with the team is you've got a big number of choices.
Exactly. And, taking a step back from that, say an individual was just getting into this incredible company and say they were new to network marketing, and I know that you're not, but say that the activity of making calls or doing whatever it is to speak to 3 people a day, they experience difficulty at first. And James Clear touches on that. He says that it's natural to have to feel a great difficulty, but with frequent repetition, this difficulty vanishes. And he goes on to write that habits are easier to build when they fit into the flow of one's life. So, for example, what I love about network marketing is if someone loves traveling, as we've seen what Eva and Darlene have accomplished, those trips are available to them. If they want to have that freedom and create that freedom, they're not tied to writing checks for employees at Friday night at 10 o'clock. The company takes care of all of those other factors, whether it's shipping, invoicing, customer service. And so being able to have that freedom of having your own business is very exciting. It could be, people like different things, so they could join a group to meet other people engaging in the activity they love. It could be small engine reconstruction, something I know nothing about, but I love skiing, so I will talk to someone if the conversation goes that way, going up a ski lift.
And it is a lifestyle business, right? So doing things that we love, that's the goal. And really, that's the goal for almost anybody, right? Sometimes people are not even conscious of the idea that part of walking through life here is making it easy to do the things that we love. One of the things that popped out as I was reading this, some of the stuff about the daily method, it occurred to me, a little light bulb went on and said, this doesn't sound easy. And then I realized what he's saying is, don't do easy things. It doesn't mean you can't do easy things, but these are techniques. The third law of behavior doesn't say do easy things. It is how to make it easy, right? And so we have some strategies here, and he talks about instituting things that you pointed to, in order to make it easy down the road, right? So it's practice. You got to show up. You got to show up, and you got to show up hungry, really. Now that takes something, because a lot of folks are so invested in their what's so that they don't have the flexibility to step into the possibility. And a lot of our technologies, a lot of what we're doing when we're slapping on X39 is giving people the mental clarity and the metabolic flexibility and the agility and the energy to actually be, wow, who's that? Who's that? Wow, I want to know her. Right?
I love that, Dr. Tom. Show up hungry to create a better life for oneself, and show up hungry to help others in so many different ways, potential ways. I love that James Clear wrote, the point is not to do one thing. The point is to master the habit of showing up. A habit must be established before it's improved upon. So, and Robin had mentioned that as well. You can't learn the basic skill of showing up, and you have the, it doesn't help in terms of mastering the finer details. And so what I've done to make it easier in terms of three-way calls, whether that's a three-way call with a team leader and a prospect of mine, or whether I'm doing a three-way call for a teammate of mine, instead of just holding up my trusty large agenda, I also make the habit of having the alarm clock go off. So between the two of them, I'm definitely going to be ready 10 minutes before. And something that Robin showed me, it might have been 3 years ago now, she was looking over the website of a health provider that I was going to talk to, and she looked at it very carefully. And that really stuck with me, because that was something exactly that I would do, is know the individual and be prepared to maybe have a common sense of affiliation with that individual when we speak with them. So I know that your team is very invested in doing three-way calls and very successfully.
They really are. And you know what? We just had a beautiful training tonight on that very thing. And in the world of showing up, Ann and Connie hosted this training, which I've seen 50 times, right? I could easily have not been there. Thank God I was there. A, it was a great training. B, that idea of learning how to edify. I had a new idea about it. I'm not going to go on about it here, but if I hadn't been there listening to what I thought was the same thing, right? And if you think it's the same thing, you're not going to be open. And that's one of the pieces of these repetitive behaviors, is so that they become unconscious. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to force yourself into it. In chapter 12, he talks about the law of least effort, and left to our own devices, we're lazy. All of Mother Nature is, right? It's the great law of physics, follows a path of least resistance. We will naturally gravitate to the option that requires the least amount of work, he says. So what are we going to do? We're going to create an environment where doing the right thing is easy. We're going to reduce the friction, and we're going to increase the friction associated with bad behaviors, make that bad behaviors difficult. And I wanted to say one thing about one of my favorite phrases he uses. He's quoting an IT developer guy, Oswald Knuckles, in this idea when Knuckles describes what he calls resetting the room. I'm on vacation and I have my office sort of here. I have a bunch of stuff around. It's very chaotic. I'm not going to show it to you, but a lot of stuff is not where I want it, right? And he says, when I walk into the room, everything's in the right place. It takes something to do that. When you're finished doing such and such, close it, put it away, like that. So there are little tips like that about how to put rate limiters on your surfing, on your web browser. There was one gentleman who turned off his household electricity, the internet router at 10 p.m. and that told everybody it was bedtime, et cetera, et cetera. And I loved his phrase, I'm just proactively lazy. He says, people think I work hard, but I'm actually really lazy. I'm just proactively lazy. It gives you so much time back.
Exactly. You had mentioned automating habits. Just before I forget, that is, it automatically makes me think of the monthly subscription order, just to make sure, just to have that in place, to make sure it's set up. And I don't have to think about it to make sure I stay active. And just something that was mentioned in James Clear's book as well was talking about being prepared to make a healthy meal, a breakfast, and to just have those materials ready, the implements, the cooking implements and the food there. And something that you influenced me with, Dr. Tom, I just want to mention to you, is a video that I had watched of yours, and you talked about 180 different plants that you could consume in a week. I thought, wow, well, I'm nowhere close to that, but I was influenced when I went shopping the next time after I watched that to get more different types of leafy vegetables. So there you go. You're influencing me favorably, Dr. Tom. Thank you.
Well, sure thing. And he talks about simplifying the structure. He uses the analogy of running a marathon is very hard. Running a 5K is hard. Walking 10,000 steps is moderate. Walk 10 minutes is easy. And put on your running shoes is very easy. So what's that gateway habit, right? What's that first little thing? And if you really do want to get to a couple of hundred species of plants per week, take one bite of one vegetable, right? And like that, and 3 a day and 10 in play, of course. We have so much we could cover, and it's a fun book to read. It's an inspiring walk. And real briefly, chapter 14 is after we automate and after we find ourselves adapting to the brand new habit, he talks about the inversion of the third law of behavior change, and that's make it difficult. And a commitment device, he talks about commitment devices that you can use to lock in better future and one-time choices, much the way you mentioned having yourself on an automatic shipment, etc., and using technology right away. So I know we're bottom of the hour already, and it's really been fun working with you.
Me too. I feel that way.
Playing
I've
with you.
learned a lot, and I'm so grateful that you stepped into Robin's shoes. It was big shoes to fill. Thanks so much for suggesting Atomic Habits, Robin. It's been fabulous.
Yeah, thank you, Robin. Here, let me close with one thing. The secret of getting results is that last is never stop making improvements. It's remarkable what you can build if you just don't stop. Small habits don't add up, they compound. That's the power of atomic habits. Tiny changes, remarkable results. So just go to Give Younger Success and scroll through this. Give yourself maybe a habit could be 2 minutes a day for the next 30 days of scrolling this page and doing something.
Love it. Thank you guys. That was really fabulous. And I loved, Tom, in the beginning, how you showed, what identity, to choose the identity first. So if you want to be a healthy person, then you have to have the stuff around, like easy, prime the environment to make it easy, have those foods around. I remember when I first moved to California, I made a point to every time I went to the grocery store to buy something I didn't know what it was. And then it was from the vegetable department, and I had to figure out what it was and how to cook it. And so the 2-minute rule also, Ravel, that you mentioned about if you want to be a healthy person, exercising, and Tabata is 4 to 8 minutes. You can change your life. Keep it really simple and, prime the environment. Have everything around you that you need, whether it's the food in your fridge or your tools for your business. We have the welcome email right there in Live Younger Success ready for you. That or you keep a getting started options on your desktop. So when someone says, I'm ready to get started, you have it right there. And, the automate your habits, monthly subscription is absolutely, I was going to mention that and you brought it up, Ravel. I love it. It just, I am so happy that Chewy delivers a 40-pound bag of dog food every month, and it's like, I want to be a good dog mom. And so, and also, to be consistent with our patches. Some people place an alarm on their phone, 7 and 7, 8 and 8, 9 and 9. There's so many little things we can do to reduce the friction, to make it easy. And that's what this one was about, making it easy. So you guys, thank you so much. And now I'm going to turn things over to Gregory, and he's going to bring up the newsletter.
Well, great job. And I just love what you said, Tom, about proactive lazy. I'm going to model that. I'm gonna model that.
I thought you
doesn't
were
have to be
modeling it,
hard.
honey.
You need to be focused, right? It's like we've done proactive lazy because our patches are in the same drawer as our toothpaste. You open it up, there they are. Oh, it's time to change patches,
I love it. Let me steal 30 more seconds if I could,
go
because
ahead.
everybody understands the damage repair seesaw. And with that patch, if we really do get it to a place where we have consistent and we're there all the time, we know damage and repair. One of the favorite pieces of chapter 11 that I didn't even talk about, I created the atrophy or adapt seesaw, right? They're talking about the brain neurons that wire together, fire together, wire together, and that's Hebb's law. And he talks about that. So we're either doing what you said and getting stronger, or we're degenerating, right? If you don't use your hippocampus or your thought center or your motor cortex for a little while, it atrophies too. So that's chapter 11 is a fun read on that one.
Beautiful. Well, thank you. Great job, Tom. Great job, Ravel. And great job, James, for writing the book. It's a great book. We got just a few other things we're going to share real briefly, and then we'll let everybody be off and about their evening. So Vision 2024 The complete replay is available at Live Younger YouTube. It's 4.5 hours, all there for your picking and choosing. We're working on compartmentalizing it. We went into some technical challenges, but it's right there for you. The other thing we mentioned last week, they're very excited. I hope you've all ordered at least one of the LifeWave 20th anniversary magazine. It is absolutely beautiful. It's so well done. Just an image of things coming, actually becoming mature. You know, the staff is coming together. All the pieces of the puzzle are coming together. So you're going to love that. In fact, I was meeting with a gentleman tonight and I took my only copy and I gave it to him because I wanted to impress him. I said, hey, look at this and then we'll get back together. So the other thing I wanted to mention, upcoming events, almost sold out. I bought my airline ticket. I hope to see many of you or some of you there. I know that Connie and Barry Lucas are going to be there and Harris Williams and maybe many others are going to be there. I'll be there and this is going to be a fabulous event. 3 hours all morning. It's going to be David Schmidt Unleashed. And then there's going to be an hour and a half lunch break. And then it's a 3-hour leadership training. So you're going to get the best of the best, you know, about David and the company in the morning and, you know, your SPD leaders and trainers in the afternoon. And then going to be a dinner break. And then we're going to get back together and kind of dance the night away to a DJ and a band. So be there if you can. It's close to sold out. So if you're thinking about it, just make a decision and be there. Okay, so we have the updated getting started checklist there. We have something new, updated Zoom list here, but Robin, do you want to talk about spinning the wheel?
Yes, we're going to start the spin the wheel. And we have patches to give away. We have X39 and Eon. So starting this week, you have an opportunity to put your compliance stories in Vibrant Living. And then starting next week, we're going to start giving away patches. So by putting your story in Vibrant Living, and you know, you've heard me share over and over and over again about the importance and power of stories, because sharing your stories not only builds your business, but it brings hope to people. And so we want to share stories, and then we will reward you for quite a while with a bunch of patches that we've got to give out to you guys. So we'll bring back the spin next week.
All right. So let's load up Vibrant Living with new stories, and that's how you get your name in the spin. And so we'll be doing this for, I don't know, I think the next 12 weeks. I don't know how long. The company was generous enough to give us X39 and Eon sleeves to use as an incentive for this. So thank you, Garrett and LifeWave.
And honey, Dr. Sarah's wondering where to buy the magazine. If you go in the store, you can go to either All Products or Sales Tools, and you'll find it in both of
store.
in the back office in the store, and that's where you'll find the magazines. Gregory gave ours away, so I ordered some more, honey. They'll be coming soon.
Okay, good. Okay, and real quick, I'll just kind of overview schedule for the rest of the week. Tomorrow night, we have one of our favorites. They're all our favorites, but Dr. Jeffrey Hubbard's a special one, medical doctor, and he's going to be on our LifeWave X39 intro. This is a great call for guests, for customers, for brand partners, and Dr. Jeff always has wonderful information to share. Thursday morning business training, you know, join us if you can. And we've expanded it. We need to change the listing here because the first 30 minutes is going to be a business training, but the second 30 minutes, we started it last week. We're going to do it again this week, and going forward, it's going to be open business Q&A. So if you got some questions about the comp plan, about what to say when to who or why, you know, or anything about the business, you know, the leaders that are on the call will do their best to give you your answers. So that's a business Q&A in the second half, because we know not everybody can spend an hour with us. So the first half hour will be training, the second half will be Q&A. Thursday, we have the Spanish LifeWave at 4:30. That's an afternoon, early evening call for our Spanish-speaking partners. Sunday, Connie and her her favorite health practitioners are knocking the cover off the ball. I understand there was like close to 250 people on the call Sunday evening.
Honey, it was almost 300.
There you go. See what almost 300 people this last Sunday, and so they're coming together for good reason. So we invite you, and here we are, our Monday morning miracle call. It was another great call this morning. Our call right now. So we're here for you. So with that, I think we'll bring this call into a close. I'll say one last thing: when you enroll a new person, scroll to the bottom, send them a copy of the newsletter, and say scroll to the bottom and click join our mailing list. It keeps them in the loop on what's going on. So we go to great effort to produce this on a regular basis. The mail must go through, and the newsletter usually always goes out. So with that being said,
Honey, I got one more thing to share.
go for it, Robin.
You talked about the business Q&A, and we also started in our Facebook group. For those of you that use Facebook, we have a product chat and a business chat. So you always have a place to ask your questions. And please pay attention. One is product only, and the other is business. And we're a little lenient on, naming things and whatever. You can be a little more expansive on that one. But there's great questions that are coming up, and we're getting great answers. And so it's a wonderful resource. So when you log into the Facebook group, there's a section called chats, and you'll see the business chat and the product chat.
Beautiful. Okay, well, happy Monday, everyone. And congratulations to all the point winners and the Cancun winners. And, we'll see you on one of the next upcoming calls. Good night, everyone.
Hey, everybody. Thank you, Ravel, Dr. Tom, and Darlene and Eva Rose. Great job.
Bye, everyone.